I never imagined the night before my wedding would feel so heavy. The room is quiet, but my mind is loud with questions I don't want to ask. Everything seemed perfect just days ago, but now, I'm not sure if we can fix what's broken between us. My phone lights up. Another message from him. We need to talk. The words sting like a cold wind. I stare at the screen, wondering if this is the end, or just the start of something new. I try to calm my racing heart. Maybe he's just stressed. Weddings bring pressure, right? But deep down, I feel something darker. What if he's changed his mind? What if all the promises we made were just words? The clock ticks loudly in the room, counting down to a future I'm no longer sure about. I reach for my jacket and decide to go to him. Whatever happens, I need to hear it from his lips, not through a screen. Walking to his apartment feels like walking into a storm. The streets are empty, the night cold and unforgiving. My hands tremble as I knock on the door. He opens it without a smile. His eyes are distant, tired. For a moment, I think maybe this is a bad dream I can wake from. But then he steps aside and lets me in. The silence between us is thick, heavy with words unspoken. We sit on opposite ends of the couch, neither of us ready to break the silence. Finally, he speaks, his voice low and shaky. I don't know if I'm ready for this. My heart stops. How can someone you love say those words? I want to scream, to beg, to understand. But all I can do is listen. His doubts are real, and they crash over me like waves in a storm. I ask him why. What changed? Was it something I did? He looks away, and for the first time, I see fear in his eyes. I'm scared. Scared of failing you. Scared of losing myself. His honesty cuts deeper than any anger ever could. I want to reach out, hold him close, but the distance between us feels too wide. The night stretches on, full of questions and no answers. I leave his place with a heavy heart. The city feels colder now, darker. Every step I take feels like I'm walking away from a dream I once held close. But even as doubt creeps in, a small part of me refuses to give up. Maybe tomorrow will bring clarity. Maybe love can still find a way through the storm. I cling to that hope as I walk through the silent streets. Back in my apartment, I stare at the wedding invitation on the table. It feels like a cruel reminder of what might never be. The ring on my finger feels heavier. Tonight, not a symbol of joy, but a chain. I wonder if he's thinking of me, or if the doubt that filled his eyes will break us apart forever. Sleep doesn't come easily, and when it does, it's full of restless dreams. Morning comes slow. The sunlight barely touches my room, like it's afraid to wake the truth. My phone buzzes again. It's him. Can we meet? I want to try to fix this. Relief and fear mix inside me. Could this be the turning point? Or just another twist in a story I don't want to read? I agree to meet him, hoping for the best, but fearing the worst. At the cafe, he waits, nervous and hopeful. We really talk for the first time in days. He admits his fears, his doubts, but also his love. The conversation is raw, painful, but real. We don't have answers, but we have honesty. And maybe that's the first step toward saving us. I want to believe it, to hold on to this fragile hope like a lifeline. As we leave the cafe, the sky darkens again. The storm isn't over yet, but for the first time, I feel a flicker of something stronger than fear, something like faith. Maybe love is not about perfection. Maybe it's about choosing each other, even when the night is darkest. Tomorrow is the wedding day, and whatever happens, I'm ready to face it. The next few hours feel strange, like time is slipping through my fingers. I can't stop thinking about our talk. His words keep echoing in my mind, his fears, his love. It's like walking on thin ice. I want to trust him, but the past days have made me unsure. I keep checking my phone, hoping for another message, something to hold on to. The wedding is closer now, and with every step, My heart races between hope and fear. Later, I sit by the window, watching people pass on the street below. They all seem so certain about their lives. I wish I could feel that way too. What if we are making a huge mistake? What if this love isn't strong enough? But then I think about the good moments, his smile, the way he holds my hand, and I want to believe. I close my eyes and breathe deeply, trying to find peace in the chaos inside me. Suddenly, my phone buzzes again. It's him. This time, the message says, "Meet me at the park. I have something to tell you." My stomach tightens. What could it be? I want to rush to him, but a voice in my head warns me to be careful. Still, I can't resist. I grab my coat and head out into the cool evening air, hoping this meeting will bring answers instead of more questions. The park is nearly empty when I arrive. He's sitting on a bench under a large tree, his face hidden in shadows. I approach slowly. He looks up, surprised to see me. For a moment, we just sit together, the silence stretching between us. Then he takes a deep breath and starts talking, words spilling out faster than he can control. It's about a secret he's been hiding, something that changes everything. He tells me about a past mistake, something he never wanted to share, a choice that haunts him. My mind spins. How did I not know this? Why did he keep it from me? The wedding suddenly feels so far away, like a fragile dream slipping through my fingers. But as he speaks, I see his pain, his regret. I realize he's not perfect, but he's honest now. And maybe that's more important than I thought. I don't know what to say. The truth hits me like a wave, pulling me under. But then I remember all the moments that brought us here, the laughter, the late night talks, the promises. If love is real, it has to survive this. I reach out and take his hand. The warmth surprises me. Maybe secrets don't have to end us. Maybe they can help us start again, stronger than before. We sit in the park long after the sun disappears. The night grows colder, but we don't move. Talking feels like a release, a chance to breathe after holding so much inside. I want to believe we can heal the cracks, but I know it won't be easy. Tomorrow is still the big day. And now, more than ever, I wonder if love alone can be enough. When I get home, I sit at the kitchen table, staring at the clock. Time feels strange, like it's speeding up and slowing down all at once. My mind races through every detail of the night, every word he said. I try to sort my feelings, hunger, sadness, hope, but they swirl into a mess I can't understand. I realize this wedding isn't just about us. It's about facing the unknown together. I call my best friend, needing someone to listen. She's calm and steady on the other end, reminding me that no love story is perfect. It's okay to be scared, she says, but don't lose yourself in fear. Her words help me breathe again. Maybe I'm stronger than I think. Maybe this is just the first test of something real. I promise myself to keep fighting, no matter what comes next. The night is restless. I toss and turn, dreams filled with shadows and light. Sometimes, I see us smiling, dancing, happy and free. Other times, I'm alone, waiting for answers that never come. When the alarm rings, I sit up, heart pounding. Today feels different. The final hours before the wedding. The moment where everything will change. For better or worse. I dress slowly, choosing my outfit with care. Every piece feels heavy with meaning. This is more than clothes. It's armor for what lies ahead. As I look in the mirror, I barely recognize myself. The woman staring back has been tested by fear and hope. She's ready to face whatever comes next. But inside, a quiet voice whispers, what if it's not enough? At the door, I pause, hand on the handle. I think about the love we promised each other, the dreams we shared. I think about his fears, his honesty. The wedding day feels like a crossroads. I take a deep breath and step outside, ready to face the storm head on. Even if I don't know how it will end, The venue is buzzing with activity. Friends and family move around, smiles bright but eyes full of questions. I see his face across the room. He looks tired but determined. Our eyes meet for a brief moment, and a silent message passes between us, a mix of fear, hope, and love. I want to hold on to that moment forever. As the ceremony begins, I try to focus on the vows, but my mind drifts back to the past few days, the secrets, the doubts, the small moments of courage. I realize love isn't perfect. It's messy and hard and sometimes scary, but it's also worth fighting for. I look at him and whisper a prayer for us, for the future, for the chance to start again. Suddenly, his hand tightens around mine. I look up, surprise and relief flooding me. His eyes are soft, full of promise. In that moment, the world narrows to just the two of us. I know the road ahead won't be easy, but it doesn't matter. We're choosing each other. And sometimes, that's all you need. The ceremony ends, but the night is far from over. We step outside into the cool air, surrounded by laughter and music. Yet, beneath the celebration, I sense the truth still waiting to be spoken. I wonder if we can truly leave the past behind, or if it will follow us like a shadow. Later, alone, in the quiet of our room, he turns to me with a serious look. "There's more I need to tell you," he says softly. My heart sinks again. I nod, ready to listen. The night is still young, and the story isn't over. Whatever happens, I know one thing: I won't run away. Not now. He shares a truth that shakes me to the core. It's a secret bigger than before, something that could change everything. I feel the walls around me trembling, but instead of fear, I find a strange calm. Maybe this is the moment where real love begins, when everything is laid bare, no matter how hard. We sit in silence after his confession. The air feels thick, but not broken. I realize that love isn't about hiding or pretending. It's about facing the hardest truths together, even when it hurts. I reach for his hand, squeezing it gently. "We'll get through this," I whisper. And deep down, I believe it. The night fades into dawn, and with it comes a fragile peace. The storm hasn't passed, but the worst has been faced. We are no longer strangers hiding behind walls. We are two people, imperfect and scared, but willing to try. Tomorrow isn't certain, but tonight, love feels real. The sun rises, casting warm light over the city. I feel exhausted but alive. The wedding day is over, but our journey is just beginning. I know there will be challenges ahead, moments of doubt and fear. But I also know that honesty and courage can be stronger than any secret. We start talking more openly, sharing fears and dreams. It's not easy. Sometimes, the past still haunts us. But each day, we choose to face it together. The road is winding and full of surprises, but I feel hopeful. Love is not a perfect story. It's a story worth telling anyway. Friends ask how we made it through, and I tell them the truth: love requires bravery. It asks us to be vulnerable, to trust when it's hard. I don't have all the answers, but I know this: the hardest moments can lead to the deepest connections. Sometimes, I still wake up scared, but then I see him beside me, and the fear softens. We hold each other through the dark, knowing that whatever comes, we face it as one. The wedding was not the end, but a new beginning, a promise to keep fighting, no matter what. Looking back, I see how far we've come. The doubts, the secrets, the tears, they shaped us. We are not perfect, but we are real, and in the messy, beautiful reality of love, I have found strength I didn't know I had. Our story is not about a perfect day or a flawless love. It's about two people choosing each other again and again, even when it's hard. That's the kind of love I believe in, the kind that grows through storms and shines brighter after the rain. Now, as I sit here writing this story, I feel grateful for the struggles, the lessons, the moments of doubt that made us stronger. Love is not a fairy tale, but it's a journey worth taking, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know this: I am not alone. We face the unknown together, hand in hand. That's enough. For now, that's everything. Sometimes, I think about how close we came to losing everything. But then, I remember that night in the park, the late night talks, the honest confessions. Those moments saved us. They showed me that love is not about never breaking, but about choosing to heal. And so, the story continues. Not with perfect endings, but with hopeful beginnings. I don't know where the road leads, but I'm ready to walk it with him. Because sometimes, love is just about choosing each other every day, no matter what days pass. Each one blending into the next like waves in the ocean. Sometimes calm, sometimes rough. We're learning to listen more, to be patient with each other's fears. The wedding chaos feels far behind now, replaced by a new kind of challenge, building trust from the pieces left behind. I'm scared, but also hopeful. Every small step feels like a victory, even when the past tries to pull us back. One evening, I find a note slipped under my door. It's from him, simple words, but they carry weight. Thank you for not giving up. My eyes fill with tears. In that moment, I realize this is what love looks like: messy, imperfect, but real. We're still broken in places, but we're choosing to heal. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough for now. We start planning little moments just for us: a walk in the park, cooking dinner together, quiet talks late at night. Those small things remind me who he is beneath the fear and doubt, and maybe remind him who I am, too. Slowly, the walls between us begin to crumble. It's not easy. Sometimes we stumble, but we get back up, holding on to hope like a lifeline. Friends notice the change, asking how we moved past the chaos. I smile, but inside I know it's not simple. It's the hard work of choosing each other every day, even when the future is uncertain. There's no magic fix, only honesty and courage. And love, that stubborn kind of love that refuses to let go. One night, we sit on the rooftop, looking at the stars. The city hums below us, distant and calm. We talk about the future, dreams and fears tangled together. It feels fragile, but real. I tell him I'm scared, but I'm willing to try. He nods and squeezes my hand. In the silence, I feel a quiet strength between us, like something new is growing. But just when I start to believe, doubt creeps back. A late-night argument, harsh words spoken too fast, and suddenly the distance returns. We both say things we regret. The fear and pain swirl again, threatening to pull us apart. I lie awake, heart heavy, wondering if we can survive the storms we keep creating. The next day feels heavy with silence. Neither of us knows how to fix what broke overnight. But I remember something my friend said: sometimes love isn't about fixing. Sometimes it's about understanding. I reach out, offering a small apology, hoping it's enough to start again. He takes it slowly. The walls begin to soften once more. We learn to fight differently, not with anger, but with words that try to heal. It's new, and sometimes clumsy, but it works. Each time we stumble, we remind ourselves why we're here. Love isn't perfect, but it's ours, and that makes all the difference. The road is rough, but at least we're walking it together. One afternoon, I find an old photo of us smiling, carefree. I feel a pang of longing for those simple days. But then I realize those days led us here, to a deeper understanding. We're not the same people anymore, and maybe that's okay. Growth hurts, but it also brings hope. I tuck the photo away, a quiet reminder of how far we've come. We start talking about the future more seriously, about what we want, what scares us. The wedding day feels like a distant memory now, less important than the life we want to build. It's strange and scary to face the unknown, but with him by my side, I feel braver. Maybe love isn't about the perfect day, it's about the imperfect journey. Sometimes, I catch him looking at me with something new, hope mixed with fear. I know he's still wrestling with doubts, but I see the effort he's making. That effort means everything to me. I want to be patient, to keep giving him space to grow. Because if we can survive the hardest nights, maybe we can survive anything. One rainy afternoon, we get caught outside without an umbrella. Instead of rushing for cover, we laugh and run through the puddles. It feels like a small victory, a moment of light in the storm. For a little while, the fears disappear. I realize love can be found in the smallest things: a shared smile, a wet coat, a warm hand. But the rain doesn't last forever. The next day brings new challenges, old fears rising like ghosts. I'm scared again, unsure if this fragile hope can hold. I want to talk, to reach out, but sometimes words get stuck. It feels like we're dancing around something important, afraid to face it head on. Late at night, I write down my feelings, trying to make sense of the storm inside me. Writing helps me breathe. It reminds me that even when everything feels dark, there's a light somewhere. I send him a message, sharing a piece of my heart. The reply comes slowly, but when it does, it's full of warmth. The small connection feels like a lifeline. We start seeing a counselor, someone who helps us find words when we don't have them. It's hard, but healing is messy. We uncovered truths we didn't want to face, but that needed to be spoken. It's painful, but each session leaves us feeling a little lighter. The cracks between us begin to fill with something stronger: understanding. One night, after a tough session, we sit together in silence. No words, just presence. I realize love isn't always about talking. Sometimes it's about simply being there. The quiet comfort of shared space becomes a new kind of bond, one built on trust and patience. I hold his hand, knowing we're not alone anymore. Slowly, the future starts to look brighter. We plan small trips, dreaming aloud about places we want to see. Those dreams feel fragile but real, like flowers pushing through cracked concrete. I'm learning that love isn't just about surviving the storm, it's about growing through it. Together, I catch myself smiling more these days, not because everything is perfect, but because we're choosing each other, even when it's hard. That choice is powerful. It turns fear into courage, doubt into hope. And with each new day, I feel a little stronger, a little braver. Sometimes, I still lie awake at night, wondering if the past will catch us again. But then I remember the moments of truth we shared, the secrets, the tears, the honest talks. Those moments are our foundation. No matter what happens, we built something real, something that can hold us. We celebrate small victories now: a good day, a kind word, a shared laugh. Those moments remind me that love is not a grand event, but a collection of tiny acts of kindness. It's messy, imperfect, and sometimes painful. But it's ours, and that's enough. One evening, as we cook dinner together, I look at him and realize how much we've changed. The doubts are still there, but they no longer control us. We're learning to live with uncertainty, to find joy in the present. I feel grateful for this imperfect love, this shared journey. We talk about the wedding day sometimes not as a lost dream, but as a stepping stone. What happened then shaped us. It taught us about honesty, courage, and the power of choice. I don't regret it. Instead, I see it as the beginning of a deeper story, a story still being written. Sometimes, I catch him staring at me with a soft smile. It's a quiet reassurance that we're still here, still trying. Those moments fill me with hope. They remind me that love is not about perfection, but persistence. It's about holding on, even when the path is unclear. The seasons change, and with them, we change too. We grow closer in unexpected ways, finding new strengths and new fears. The past still lingers like a shadow, but it no longer defines us. We're more than our mistakes. We're more than our doubts. We're love in progress. One day, I find a letter he wrote but never sent. It's full of hopes and apologies, dreams and fears. Reading it feels like hearing his heart speak. It reminds me that we're both scared, but we're both willing to try. That willingness is everything. We start creating new traditions, small rituals that belong just to us. A morning coffee shared in silence, a favorite song played on rainy days. These moments build a quiet strength between us. They remind me that love lives in the everyday, not just in grand gestures. Sometimes we argue, sometimes we cry, but we always come back. That's the promise we made, not just to say I do, but to keep choosing each other every day. It's hard work, but it's worth it, because love is not a perfect story, but a real one. One evening, as we watch the sunset, I feel a deep peace. The journey is far from over, but I'm no longer afraid. I trust us. I trust the love we're building, slow and steady, like a river carving its way through stone. It's a love that lasts. I think about the night before the wedding, the fear, the doubt, the silence, how far we've come since then. I'm proud of us for facing the hard truths, for holding on. That night could have broken us, but instead, it made us stronger. I believe in us. The future is still unknown, but that no longer scares me, because I know we will face it together. No matter what comes, we have each other, and that is everything. The story is far from over, but for now, I'm ready to keep writing it. One day at a time. Morning light streams through the window, filling the room with warmth. I wake up next to him, and for a moment, the worries fade away. The past still lingers, but now it feels less like a burden and more like a lesson. We've been through storms and come out stronger. Today feels like a fresh start, a chance to build something lasting. We spend the day doing simple things, running errands, sharing meals, talking about nothing and everything. These moments remind me that love is not always about grand gestures. Sometimes it's the quiet presence, the gentle touch, the steady heartbeat beside you that means the most. I feel lucky, even in our imperfect life. At night, we sit by the fireplace, wrapped in a blanket. The flames flicker, casting shadows that dance like our memory, some bright, some dark. We talk about the past, not to dwell, but to understand. Each story, each secret shared, has brought us closer. I realize that love is not forgetting, but forgiving and growing. I think about the wedding again, not with regret but with gratitude. It was our crucible, the test that showed us who we really are. I'm proud of how far we've come, proud of the honesty that saved us. The day didn't break us, it built us. It made room for a deeper love, one rooted in truth. Sometimes, we still have hard days. Doubts creep in, fears whisper at the edges. But now, we face them together, not as enemies, but as partners. We talk, we listen, we hold each other through the dark. Those moments make the light shine brighter. I believe that's what love really means. One afternoon, he surprises me with a small gift, a book of poems. It's simple but thoughtful, a reminder of the beauty in small things. I feel seen and cherished. It's these little acts that fill the cracks in our hearts, the quiet proof that love grows in everyday moments, not just in grand declarations. We start planning a trip together, a chance to create new memories away from old shadows. The excitement feels like a balm to our tired souls. It's scary and thrilling at the same time, but I know we'll face whatever comes with open hearts. This journey is ours, and we're ready to take the next step. As the days turn to weeks, I see a new side of him, stronger, more open, more alive. And I see changes in myself too. The fears that once ruled me now have less power. We're not perfect, but we're growing, learning how to love through the cracks. That's a kind of magic all its own. We talk about the future in quieter moments, dreaming together without fear. It feels like a secret garden where hope can bloom. I hold his hand and smile, feeling the warmth of possibility. Whatever happens, we've learned that love is about choosing each other, over and over, no matter what. One evening, under a sky full of stars, he asks me to dance. We laugh as we stumble over our feet. But it doesn't matter. In that imperfect dance, I see us two flawed people, choosing joy, choosing each other. The night feels endless, full of promise and light. I hold on to that feeling tightly. Life continues with its ups and downs, but now I meet each challenge with a quiet strength. I know I'm not alone. We've built a love that can weather storms, a bond that grows through honesty and courage. I'm proud of us for not giving up, for choosing to fight for this fragile, beautiful thing. Sometimes, I catch myself daydreaming about the future, a home filled with laughter, quiet mornings with coffee, adventures shared. These dreams feel more real now, less like distant fantasies. They remind me that love is a journey, not a destination. And I'm ready to keep walking. Hand in hand, we celebrate small victories, step forward, each healed wound. Those moments feel like treasures, proof that love is not about perfection but persistence. I'm learning to embrace the messiness, the unknown, because in that chaos, there is beauty and truth. On quiet nights, we share stories of our past, not to reopen old wounds, but to build understanding. I see him in a new light, flawed but brave, scared but hopeful, and I feel grateful for the chance to rewrite our story together. Page by page, day by day. I find strength in the small things, a smile, a touch, a shared glance. These moments remind me that love lives in presence, in attention, in choosing to be there. We're learning how to be present for each other, even when the world feels uncertain. One day, I find a note he left on my pillow. It's simple, just a few words. I love you, today and always. My heart swells. That note is a promise, a light in the dark. It shows me that love is not just spoken, but lived. Every single day we talk more openly now about fears, dreams, hopes, and doubts. The silence that once separated us is replaced by honest conversations. It's not always easy, but it's real, and that honesty builds a foundation stronger than any fear. Sometimes, I catch myself smiling for no reason, just because he's near. Those moments feel like gifts, reminders that love can be simple and profound all at once. I hold on to those smiles, knowing they are the threads weaving our hearts together. The past still whispers sometimes, but I don't let it control me. I've learned that healing takes time and courage. We're both growing, learning to forgive ourselves and each other. That growth feels like hope, like a new dawn breaking after a long night. One afternoon, we sit quietly, watching the world go by. No words are needed. Just being together feels enough. I realize that love is not always about saying or doing something big. Sometimes, it's about the quiet moments, the shared breath, the feeling of being home. We plan more adventurous trips, new experiences. Each one is a chance to make memories, to build joy. I feel the excitement bubbling inside me, a lightness I didn't know was possible. It's proof that love can heal, that it can grow stronger through challenge. At times, fear still visits. But now, when it does, we face it together. We hold hands, share our worries, and find strength in each other's presence. The fear doesn't disappear, but it loses its power. Love becomes a shield, not a chain. One night, as we lie together, he whispers, "Thank you for believing in us." Those words touch my heart deeply. I realize that belief is the foundation of everything, the hope that keeps us moving forward. Even when the path is unclear, I look back on the journey we've traveled, the storms, the secrets, the healing. I'm amazed at how much we've grown, how far we've come. Our story is far from perfect, but it's ours. And that makes it beautiful. We keep choosing each other, day after day. That choice feels like a quiet victory, a promise that no matter what comes, we face it together. Love is not about never falling, but about getting back up together. Sometimes, I catch him watching me with a soft smile, full of warmth and love. Those moments fill me with peace. I know that no matter what the future holds, we have this connection deeper than fear, stronger than doubt. Our love is not a fairy tale. It's messy, real, and sometimes hard, but it's also full of hope and courage. We've built something that can last not because it's perfect, but because it's true. One evening, as we watch the stars, I feel a deep sense of gratitude for the journey, for the lessons, for the love that grows stronger every day. I know the road ahead will have challenges, but I'm ready, because we face it together. The story continues, not with a perfect ending, but with a hopeful beginning. I don't know where the road will lead, but I'm ready to walk it with him, hand in hand, heart to heart. That's enough. And so, this is our story, imperfect, beautiful, real. A story of love, tested by fire, and made stronger by truth. I don't know what the future holds, but I know one thing. As long as we keep choosing each other, we'll find our way together.